Okay, I'm going to attempt to make a video of installing these rear passenger hand warmers on my 2020 Sportsman 570, or not 570, 850 Touring. I haven't found much online. These are for a 2010 with the MY11 handles, or 2011 and later Sportsman XP Touring. I believe these are discontinued and they're pretty hard to find. I just so happen to find them off of somebody on Kijiji that lived in Saskatchewan, and they shipped them to me. I'm going to attempt to put them on my 2020. It's a little dirty right now. I haven't had a chance to clean it yet. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to install them on the handles first, so I can see where that rear harness has to go. To do that, I'm going to remove these plugs here, which I believe they're supposed to sit behind, but I'm not 100% sure on how they're going to work. I believe it's going to sit in here like this. So they should fit. It's just, I don't know how they're going to run down with that rear harness. We'll figure it out. I'm going to start by removing that, which I already did, and remove this bottom cover off the back of the seat. Kind of just presses in there. I already had this one off once. It just has these push tabs that push up in there. So I don't really know. I wish this was on the other side, or a hole drilled here to pass the wires through. So I'm going to have to remove that handle so I can get this up in there properly without bending it. To completely remove this handle, I'm going to use a T30 Torx bit. On a knuckle, because if I didn't use the knuckle, I wouldn't be able to use my impact driver, because I'm lazy and don't use ratchets anymore since I bought this thing. There's 4 bolts that hold it on. This is welded, so there's no adjustability in the handles, which is kind of, it'd be nice if you had a little bit, able to adjust this a little bit. I know on my friends, he has the same 850, and they are welded slightly different. So with their blocks on there, the way you hold the handles, you actually hit your elbows on, you'll hit your left elbow on mine, and you'll hit your right elbow on his. Just because of the way they're welded, they're not exactly in the same spots. Okay, so I'm going to start by just sliding this up in here, I believe. Like so. Sorry. I don't know if you've seen that. I'll do it again. Slide this up in here. And there's a little hole there. A little notch that, I guess that goes in. Like so. Then you're gonna, I guess, reinstall this plug. I want to make sure that stays in that hole there. This goes down in there first. It's flipping up on me. There we go. I believe I got it in there correctly. I'm going to reinstall this Phillips head screw. Now I wish this hole was on the opposite side, because now it may be in the way of the passenger. See, it's going to come in here with the passenger. I want to zip tie it down out of the way. I don't think there's any way of avoiding that without drilling another hole on the opposite side. Screw this back down, see. Put the cover back on, see how it fits. I am wearing my helmet to hold the GoPro. There's Loctite on these bolts, a little bit of blue Loctite. So that is how that's gonna be installed there. Now, this side is kind of hard to push back in. Just kind of press fit it on there. Just gonna use a little saw. Just give it a couple little taps, a little soft hammer. Okay. So that is in. I just don't like how this cord is on this side. I really wish it was on the opposite side. I'm going to do the same on the other side here. Remove Phillips head. This pops out. It's supposed to pop out. Move this bottom cover. so. And then again, remove the 4 T30 Torx bolts. Okay, now this side has the switch is going to go in this side. So to install the switch, we have to remove this cap. Just a couple little push pins in there. Pops right out. Just a plastic cap. Now, to install this switch, it looks like everything's just going to slide right through here, right through the hole, so I'm not even going to have to remove any of those plugs from the switch. They're not going to come right down. It's going to sit in there. This is going to twist, slide up inside. Pull it up. And then again, it sits inside that little hole. Reinsert this cover, just like so. Install Phillips head screw. Tight. This is your switch. It is just going to be pushed down and it locks in. And then all this wire is going to be tucked over there. So this can go through here. We're going to reinstall this side. Now, looking at this, switch is a little tall for this side. It's actually pushing it out. Interesting. See if I can do anything about that. If I give these a slight bend, I don't really suggest that, but it might be the only option I got. That or shave this. Prefer not to do that though. Let me see what I can do here. Okay, here's what I did. I gave him a slight bend, hopefully not enough to break them inside. I did do it slowly and carefully. So let's see if that will give us enough room to bolt this back down. I'm hoping it will. Put this at the side, so this is going to go. it's got a slightest bend on them. Hopefully it's enough. And this is gonna come out the side. It ain't pretty, but it's also not made for this. I don't believe it's entirely made for the seat or bike. So that was enough. Just that slightest little bit was enough. Now my switch did not get pushed out when I put it back on. Gonna reinstall these T30 torque screws in here. Bolt it back down, and then set the seat in place to see where I need to run the harness wire. Now, from my understanding, is these rear grips really don't do too much. So these might not be the final product, but I figured they were worth a shot before I go cutting open. This is all molded one piece, so you can't take the grip off and put a heated, like if the hand warmers you normally put in the front on here, because this is all molded on as one piece. So this is the option I have without wrecking anything or putting anything over top. So I'm gonna try this first. As long as it's enough to take a chill off, they'll be okay. Because I know my front ones get extremely hot. Burn my thumb off, so I'm sure there's a factory torque spec for these bolts, but I have no idea what it is. Tight sounds good to me. Okay, so there we have it. I'll reinstall this cover on this side. Just gonna push on that wire. It's okay. Not the side I didn't have to give a love tap. I already had this side off a couple times. I think I might have stretched the plastic a bit or put a piece on it. So here's our rear harness. This is the harness that's going to power the heated grips. This is for, they actually put a factory plug on this bike. It does have key on power, so this will go on here. That's going to give it the power, and then right side, left side. I just have to figure out how I'm going to run these up to the seat. The seat is removable, so I might attach this all to the seat and then just unplug this one when I need to remove the seat, rather than unplugging the two every time. I'm going to clean this plug up, and then yeah, I guess I'm going to attach this to the seat and clean that plug. Alright, so I'm going to install this harness onto the seat. So I just have one plug when I want to remove the seat. To do that, I'm going to remove the storage bucket, and there is enough room above this bar and here to run this wire down. And then there's enough room to run it across here, I believe. So nothing will get pinched. So let's go see what we can come up with here. Okay. This is gonna have to come down underneath the bucket. But there's enough room there. It's not pinched or anything. It's just a little tight. I don't think that can run in front there. Those things sit in here. Yeah, I should be able to run across the front here without it being an issue. As long as I make sure that this isn't going to fall into here. I might bring it up across the front here. I'm going to send this plug up through here and across to here. That should be all right. Just gonna snug this down, see. Yeah, so it doesn't push on it, so it's okay. Still moving, it's not pinching it, so this should be fine. Now, just figuring out what I'm going to do. With this excess amount of wire here. Might throw some heat shrink on these. Heat shrink it together. Then wrap it on there with some tape and maybe some wire loom. I might just tuck this wire in behind there and have it run around the outside here. And then this will get plugged in. Careful with these. I lost one of these already, and it was a ridiculous amount of money for a new one. Okay, so I'm just going to push that in there, but I'm going to pull the box off and put it in there. I have it in there now. It's pretty tight. It's pretty tight in there. But it's not going to get wrecked. Wires in the front. Clear of everything. You can have this one plug right here, easy to get to, unplug, plug it in. It should work. Clean these up a bit. Actually, yeah. Yeah, just gonna keep that one plug in there. There's lots of room on it to unplug it. Just have to clean this up and plug it in. That should be the whole install. Minus cleaning these up, wrapping them up, and taping them down, but I don't want to do that until I make sure that they work. And clean that plug. So I clean the plug up. I'm going to put some dielectric grease in there and then plug it in, start it, and see if they get one. Alright, so I got it plugged in. Just checking here. I got power there. I got ground over here, and just check it to see if it's key on power. I believe it's key on power. It's the one in white. And then we got power going up here. Power there, power there. That's the each hand warmer. There should be a ground too, the other hand warmer. Now, I say wait and see if they're warm. I might start my bike to see. See if it gets warm. And that's it. That's it. Thank you for watching. So I've had them on just for a little bit now, and they are warm. They do get warm. So we'll see on a nice ride and see how warm they actually get. That's on high. The bike isn't running, so I'm sure they're not good enough full juice, but we'll see.